guys, so what up? Going to talk today about shadowboxing, specifically integrating defensive techniques into your shadowboxing. If you're brand new to shadowboxing and haven't done it before, you may want to practice moving around first. Moving around, creating rhythm, being able to strafe this way, forward and back, and then throwing your basic attacks, your basic straight punches, maybe even your hooks, up into your straight knee, boom, before you start integrating these defensive techniques into your shadowboxing. But with that said, integrating these techniques early in your training career is going to be great, because then these techniques become integral to your overall game. I'm shadowboxing today with a mirror. Although a mirror is not crucial, you can shadowbox without one. It is very, very beneficial because you can see what your entire body's doing and you can fix small mistakes that you may not be able to feel. Depending on how long you've been training and how many reps you have of doing something the correct way, you may or may not feel when something's not right. If you can't feel it yet, you can see it. So if I'm in the mirror, it'll look like this. Right, I've got my opponent there, we're working, and I'm imagining that they're throwing attacks at me. I'm going to face you guys so that you can kind of see a little better. The first and simplest defensive technique to integrate into your shadowboxing is the parry. The parry is when your opponent throws a straight punch and you just take your gloved hand and just knock it down. And that's going to bring their hand. So if I'm your opponent and I throw this jab and you knock it down with your glove, it brings my arm down this way and leaves me open for a punch here. So as I'm here, I'm shadowboxing, working my technique. I will imagine that my opponent throws his jab. I'm going to take my right hand. His left hand is on my right side. I'm going to parry down, boom, and I'm going to take my right heel, shoot it out, and then from here I'm going to cross, boom, and we're going to reset. So what that'll do, if you're in a fight with somebody, when that jab comes out, you're going to knock their jab down. Your glove hits their glove, their arm goes down a little bit, creating an opening, and then you throw that cross right down the middle. And a nice one to follow that with might be a switch knee. So 1, 2, boom, boom. You imagine your opponent throws a jab, parry, cross, switch knee, bang, maybe I land elbow, something like that. Another variation on this, of course, if our opponent comes out, jab, cross, we can parry, parry. And after I parry that cross, if my cross comes out and this gets parried down, it knocks down a little bit, I'm open on this side for a left hook. So I can be throwing my attacks. I'm throwing all type of things. And then I imagine my opponent comes forward with a jab cross. I parry, parry, and from here I'm going to turn my left heel, left hook, and cross and reset. Second one we'll work on for today is checking kicks. So when you come forward onto this leg, you need to keep your feet each in their own lane. You have a little more depth to your stance, and that's okay. But when you come forward with this jab, in case if you come forward with the jab and your opponent wants to kick there, you got to be ready to block. So when we're shadowboxing, it's great to throw in blocks. I'm throwing a combo, opponent goes for a kick, I block. Keep your weight forward. If you end up leaning onto this back foot and bring that block up, all they have to do is blast through it, and you're going to get knocked off of your base. So you need to practice when you're working in your blocks, making sure you're keeping your weight forward in your stance. Make sure that you're bringing your knee up to your elbow and not vice versa. Make sure that your block, your check is pointing out this way where the kick is coming from. Okay? So when I'm here in my stance and I block, it's there. It's not here, because that kick would go right around and still hit me. Don't block like that. Block like that. Of course, it's great to throw a counter after that block. So you don't just want to always block, reset, that's the end of the combination. If they go for a kick, our opponent just tried to hit us, we want to hit them back. After you block a kick, it's great to counter with either a punch, a knee, or a kick back on the same side or opposite side, but same side is really good. So after I block here, I can come down, kick back same side, maybe I land up into a combination, maybe a 4 count, reset, right? Or I'm throwing my stuff, opponent tries to kick, I can block, land, knee, come in, maybe a couple of elbows if I can close that much distance, reset. Or I'm shadowboxing, boom, 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 boom. Opponent tries to kick, I block, land, punch. Block, land, punch. Hook, right, up into a kick, reset. You can make it up, you can have fun with it. But after you work in a check, of a kick in your shadowboxing, it's great to come back with either a punch combination, a knee, or a kick. Up into a combination of kicks and punches and knees, anything that you want. Working in these defensive techniques with your shadowboxing is great for your overall game. It allows you to practice in realistic situations. When you're throwing combinations, your opponent's going to come back with something in the middle of that. They're not just going to sit and take it, let you reset, let you get your timing, let you throw another combination. So when you're shadowboxing all offensive techniques, you're practicing for a scenario that never really unfolds. When you come forward with a combination, your opponent's going to throw something, you're going to have to deal with it. So working in these parries and these checks and some other defensive techniques, which we'll go over another time, that can really make your overall game grow, and it can make your shadowboxing a lot more beneficial for you. Cut.